Next bridge coming out quite soon. It's almost as slow as the very first one we went through, so please make sure to be seated for this. Thank you. And she's so it's made by our most famous author called Hans Christian Andersen, and the statue was made because the founder of Carlsberg, the beer company, went in and saw a performance of it as a ballet performance, and then he asked a sculptor called Oanees'Vlog-It to make the statue for him. And originally they wanted the ballerina to be the model for the whole statue, but she didn't want to take her clothes off and stand naked in front of the sculptor. So instead he had to ask his wife to be the model for the statue instead. So the final statue is based off of the wife of the sculptor called Oanees'Vlog-It instead. Yeah. Olaf Eliasson has a bike and pedestrian bridge called the Circle Bridge. And what hopefully happens if it's designed right is instead of just passing straight from A to B on the bridge, through the bridge, you stop up for a second in the middle so you have time to wave hello to whoever you're passing and then move on. So stay seated please, take a seat.
Circle Bridge.
And right in front of us we have the Black Diamond. And the Black Diamond is the newest section of the Royal Danish Library, and it's clad in a mix of black granite and glass. The facade also tilts 7 degrees towards the water. That means if you're here at the right time of day, with just the right kind of light too, the reflection of the water will reflect back into the building and make the whole building shine bright like a diamond. And that is literally why it has its name. På højre hånd så løber du i den sorte diamant, som er den nyeste afdeling af det kongelige bibliotek. Den er beklædt med en blanding af sort granit og glas, samtidig så tilhører facaden 7 grader mod vandet, så hvis den er på det rigtige tidspunkt i døgnet, så vil vandspejlet reflektere tilbage op i facaden og få hele bygningen til at glimte som en diamant.
Men vi er desværre ikke på det rigtige tidspunkt.
In front of us we also have blocks. Når vi på højre hånd, venstre hånd lidt har vi blocks. Det er der hvor Dansk Center for Arkitektur ligger. Og det er inspireret byggeklodser, ikke så svært at se, og det er lavet en tegnestue fra Holland, der hedder Oanees'Vlog-It. And if you thought that now was an excellent time to stand up, you are absolutely wrong, because there is another bridge coming up, so remain seated please. Thank you. På højre hånd har vi von Christian IV's bryghus, and a brew house doesn't sound important to a city, but at the time we had no sewage system in Copenhagen. So not only did the water taste pretty disgusting, it was also pretty toxic. Instead, for several decades, Copenhagen stayed hydrated, mostly on beer. And if you were a public servant or a soldier, you were given 10 liters of beer a day, 2.4 gallons, to provide for yourself and your family members, including the children. Important to mention though that the beer back then had a lower alcohol content, so we didn't have drunk. For det offentlige så fik man 10 liter øl om dagen. Det var både til sig selv og sine familiemedlemmer, inklusive børnene. Men vigtigt at nævne, at øllen dengang ikke var nær så stærk, så det var altså ikke fordi vi havde fuld.
Ja. Så fik jeg rabat på busturen. Lige nå, når du kommer tilbage.
And we have remains we have of the original Christiansborg Palace, because it's burnt down twice since it was built. Behind the walls we have the royal stables, and there are 20 horses. Foran os har vi marmorbroen, og på højre hånd har vi nogle vægge. Det er det sidste, vi overhovedet tilbage af Christiansborg Slot. Det er oprindeligt, fordi det er brændt ned 2 gange, nu bygget. Nu kommer lige en bro af skadevarme. Take a seat please, there's a bridge coming. Thank you.
Var der borgmester, så skulle gå. Så kom næste vers, og så ringede han og sagde, sine åbner og vinder, og så skulle rigtig gå. Og så sidste vers, så slutter jo med, at der var jo ikke.
Ikke tilbage ved Mexico på højre, der har vi kommet i stedet. And guess what? what, guys? There's another bridge coming, and this next bridge is called the Storm Bridge. And we built this bridge after the Swedes stormed Copenhagen and ruined our old fragile wooden bridge. Then we built a new, very sturdy bridge. So good luck storming us now, Sweden. It is also the narrowest bridge we have to go through, though, so it's important for this one. We not only sit down, we also need to keep everything inside the sides of the boat. Arms, legs, hands, tongue, selfie sticks, babies, children, whatever you can think of, keep it inside the side of the boat, please. Looking good so far. Keep this up. All right. It is not the actual size, of course. His is way, way smaller. There is a reason why we broke up. And the cheap seats in the back are going to have to watch what they're doing a little while longer, particularly if they're close to the sides of the boat, because now Finn has to make a very sharp turn. So watch your heads, please. This is the true test of any good boat driver. Thankfully, not only is Finn exceptionally handsome, he's also a pretty decent boat driver. So I think with a bit of luck and all of his expertise, we will make the whole turn with everybody surviving and a complete boat too. But we are still turning, so anything could happen, guys. I can hear the engine whirring. Let's see, will he or won't he? Suspense increases. Oh, hold your breath, guys. Oh, he's only gonna done it, guys. Give it up for Captain Finn, please. Hero of the hour. What a champion. More than just a pretty face, isn't he? Thorvaldsen's probably the most famous sculptor we ever had in Denmark. He did a bunch of work around Europe, even did commission work for the Pope at the time. And when he returned to our city, he wanted to donate his body of work to the city of Copenhagen. In return, they built him a stunning museum for all of his stuff. But not only that, Bertel Thorvaldsen himself is also buried in the middle of the building. So it's not just a museum, it's actually also a mausoleum. På højre hånd tager vi forbi en gul-orange bygning, og det er Thorvaldsens museum. Bertel Thorvaldsen er nok den mest kendte billedhugger, vi har haft i Danmark. Han lavede en masse værker rundt omkring i Europa, også for paven på det tidspunkt. Da han kom tilbage igen til København, ville han gerne give alle sine værker til byen København. Og som tak, så byggede de ham et museum til hans ting. Derudover så er Bertel Thorvaldsen selv også begravet inde i bygningen. Så det er altså ikke kun et museum, det er faktisk også et mausoleum. And in the distance on our left, there's a guy on a horse, and this guy is Bishop Absalon, and he is widely credited to be the founder of Copenhagen in the Middle Ages. But we have since found out there's been people hanging around here ever since the Stone Ages. So it might actually have been Fred Flintstone and his buddies who were the real founders of this city. På venstre hånd der er der en rytterstatue bag metroelevatoren, og det er biskop Absalon, som man siger er grundlæggeren af København i middelalderen. Siden har vi bare fundet ud af, at der har været Palace. There are actually, because it's burned down twice as I mentioned before, there are actually elements of 5 different castles where the site of Christiansborg is today. The oldest one being the one that the guy on the horse, Bishop Absalon, made when he first came to town. På højre hånd tager forbi den seneste version af Christiansborg Slot, forsiden af den. Den har nemlig været brændt ned 2 gange Christiansborg, siden det blev bygget. Der er faktisk elementer af 5 forskellige slotte der, hvor Christiansborg ligger i dag. Det ældste det er det, som biskop Absalon lagde grundstenene til, da han først kom til byen. And in 1850 we got democracy. Before it had been a royal palace, but then it turned into the place where we have our parliament and prime minister's office. I 1850 der fik vi demokrati i Danmark. Før det havde det været kongestation. The fourth converted it into a naval church. Så så har vi en lidt mærkelig kirke. Det er fordi at det oprindeligt var en ankersmøde, og så lavede Christian det om til en sømandskirke. And on our right, there's a stunning Samsung Galaxy S23 series commercial. And just after that is another building by Christian IV. This is Førsten, Copenhagen Stock Exchange. The tower has 4 dragons on it. The tails is swung into a tip. On top of that, there are 3 crowns. Those represent the old nations of the Kalmar Union. Denmark, Norway and Sweden. På højre hånd tager vi forbi Børsen nu, lavet af Christian IV. Børstoppen har 4 drager på, så hælerne snor sammen hinanden. Og på toppen er der 3 kroner, der repræsenterer den gamle Kalmarunion. Det er unionen, vi havde mellem Danmark, Norge og Sverige. And the next bridge is coming up, so take a seat please and remain seated. Also in the back. Yes, excellent. Won't catch fire. And it sounds like hocus pocus, but the irony is that next to it we have Christiansborg Palace. That has 0 dragons on top. It's burned down twice. In the meantime, Børsen has been here since the Renaissance with 4 dragons on top. It's never even caught fire. So it's been tried and tested, guys. Get a dragon on your roof. Udover at dragerne på tårnet så sej ud, så havde de også en funktion, hvor man satte en brandsikret bygning, hvis man kunne en drage på taget. Det lyder hokus pokus-agtigt, men det sjove er, at lige ved siden af ligger Christiansborg, den har 0 drage på taget og er brændt ned 2 gange. Imens har børsen stået her siden renaissancen med 4 drage på taget og har aldrig nogensinde fået i brand. And the next bridge is coming up, so take a seat please and remain seated. Thank you. On our right, and it has a wooden ship in front of it, it's a warehouse, and the king who commissioned it said, the most important thing about this warehouse is it has to look absolutely stunning from where I live over in Christiansborg Palace. He didn't give any racked bottoms what the backside looked like, because he didn't have to see it. So please first appreciate the beautiful front side, and then notice the stark difference once we pass the building and see it from the back. På højre hånd så er der forbi et pakhus nu med nogle grønne flotte porte. Det her pakhus er blevet bestilt af kongen, og han sagde, det vigtigste af det hele. On our left there is a huge little green building, and this was first the customs office in Copenhagen, then it became the ferry terminal for the ferry traffic we have between Denmark and Sweden. But in 2000 we got a bridge connection to Sweden, and since then it's been a few different other things. There's been a nightclub and a restaurant, and right now it's a private members club called Creatives. If you are from the UK or the US, maybe you know of Soho House. This is the Soho House location in Copenhagen. På venstre hånd så er der en bil, smuk bygning der Copenhagen. Because of the way it's engineered, instead of the 2 sides flipping up and down when osten to pass through, they slide away from each other and back together again afterwards. And when they meet back together again, it looks like they meet in a little kiss. Vi skal til under Inderhavsbroen, som er en cykel- og en gangbro. Vi kalder den også for kyssebroen på grund af den måde, den er bygget på. I stedet for at de 2 sider, de tipper op og ned, når bådene skal igennem, så glider de væk fra hinanden og sammen igen bagefter. Og når de mødes igen, lige når de mødes, i et lille kys. 3, 2, 1, kiss! Because we want to be a cleaner and greener city, but we also did it because we want to be the best bike city in the whole world. There's just one problem, and that problem is called the Netherlands. Because the Dutch people are incredibly good at making bike cities. So we're still in 3rd place after Amsterdam and Utrecht. But one day we will rightfully claim our title as the world's best bike city and gain full world domination. But today is not the day, so stay tuned. Vi byggede den her bro for at blive en grønnere by, men også fordi vi rigtig gerne vil være verdens bedste cykelby. Problemet er bare, at Holland også er super dygtige til at lave cykelbyer, så er det stadig på 3. pladsen efter Amsterdam og Utrecht. But in days we not was close to both the opera and the ballet and the theater. And originally he actually wanted to be a performer himself, but he couldn't dance and he couldn't play an instrument and he definitely couldn't sing either. So that's why he had to sit down and write a bunch of stories for us instead. You might also remember it's incredibly low, so you need to show me everything I've taught you on board this tour by sitting down the best you can now. Show me everything you've got, guys. Alright. Hey, we made it! Good job, guys. The last little thing I want to try and point out to you is actually easy to miss because it's the narrowest building in all of Copenhagen. It's coming up on our left. And it's called the Pencil House. I'm gonna give you a big fat clue. It's like a pencil, that's the name. And it's of course very narrow. På venstre hånd skal vi forbi den sidste ting, jeg vil vise jer, og det er Københavns smalleste bygning, som vi kalder for Blyanthuset. Lige før den hvide bygning på hjørnet, der kalder vi for Blyanthuset. Det er den smalleste bygning i hele København. There's actually a family living inside the Pencil House. I don't quite understand how, because it must be an awful lot of space. But somehow, miraculously, they make it work in there. Good for them. Jeg forstår ikke helt, hvordan det kan lade sig gøre. Det må være rigtig mange trapper og næsten ikke noget gulvplads. Men de formår altså at gøre det alligevel. We are making our way back to the dock here in Nyhavn. I would like everybody to remain seated while we safely moor the boat. Remember your personal belongings, and if you have any trash, please put it in our trash bins. And please mind the potentially rather big gap and step between the boat and the platform when you eventually leave. But for now, though, stay seated. I hope you've enjoyed this 1-hour TED Talk about Copenhagen with us. You've been a very nice crowd. You've also been absolutely amazing at sitting down. So give yourselves and each other a big clap now, please. Come on, bigger. Oh. And then even bigger clap to Captain Finn.
देखे इधर गिन के टिश्यू देते हैं इधर रखते हैं